Thanks for staying tuned to your station, the African Independent Television, and welcome to your program, Security Watch Africa. Only on this channel we'll give you that information to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to the program. Today, my name still remains Patrick Abambu. Like every week, we'll bring you that information wherever it is, so long as it has to do with security and safety. Anywhere it is in Africa, we'll make efforts to bring it to you. Yes, during the week, a number of things happened. There was the strike called by the labor unions, and one of the aspects of it was the shutting down of the national grid, which I must say that from security perspective, that is a treasonable felony, and that shouldn't be encouraged at all, because so many things were lost. Lives were lost at the hospitals because of lack of power to sustain them. And the operations that were going on were also being affected. So government must dialogue with the labor unions at all times to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Yes, let's go to the program of today. Yes, we must acknowledge that the security forces are doing everything possible to ensure that Nigerians are safe. And, you know, when we talk about Nigeria, we're talking about largely Africa, because today Nigeria is experiencing the stronger percentage of terror and banditry attacks across Africa and within the Sahel region. So whatever the Nigerian armed forces and the security agencies are doing, it's also impacting on other securities in other countries. So let's go to our first report, which is from the Nigerian Army headquarters, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, visited Makurdi, Benue State, and Shirley Daniels brings us this report.
The 2024 Combat Support Arms Training of the Nigerian Army, held at the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. The Chief of Army Staff, who was the special guest of honor while declaring open the training, emphasized on the importance of robust support for combat arms in the Nigerian Army in today's intricate and uncertain operating environment.
In today's complex, non-linear, highly unpredictable and ambiguous operating environment, combat arms require robust and reliable support to function effectively and achieve military strategic, operational, and tactical objectives. For the combat arms to be successful, the combat support forces must be at the top of their game of providing intelligence, communications, engineering, and fire support services that have an immediate impact on the course of the battle. I'm proud to say that the Nigerian Army can boast of a highly efficient, competent, adaptive, and resourceful combat support corps that over the years have contributed immensely to its operational successes within and outside the country.
General Lagbaja commended the Combat Support Corps for their contribution to operational achievements while highlighting the roles of the combat support arms.
I must appreciate the Commander Corps of Engineers and organizers of this year's Combat Support Arms Training Week for their effort to get us off to a hugely successful start. I believe what we have witnessed so far has given us a foretaste of what to expect as the week goes by. The 4 Combat Support Corps have individually and collectively lived up to expectations in the Nigerian Army's training and operational endeavors.
The Army Chief stressed on the need for continuous training.
Although one can attest to how well the Combat Support Corps have performed in the Nigerian Army, there's no denying that there's always room for improvement. This is because, aside from the changes in the political, economic, physical, and technological environment, the character of war in itself is constantly changing. This has necessitated a need for continuous training, as well as research and development in the ways we conduct the business of warfare.
The governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Aliyah, who was the guest of honor at the event, in his remarks applauded the military for their sacrifices and pledged his support to help improve security in the state, while also noting that the Combat Training Week is a step towards the right direction.
I appreciate the leadership of officers and men and women of the Nigerian Army for their remarkable efforts tackling insecurity across the country. Let me, on behalf of the government and good people of Benue, warmly welcome you all to the food basket of the nation, especially our distinguished resource persons, stakeholders, and invited guests here present. Looking at the theme of the training week, emerging technologies, a panacea for operational efficiency, I am of the firm belief that this is yet another step in the right direction towards our collective resolve to leverage emerging technologies towards enhancing the conduct of military operations.
In his speech, the Commander Corps of Engineer, Major General Phillips Eromosele, gave highlights of the Combat Training Week and its expectations.
The Combat Support Arms Training Week has, over the years, provided a platform to interact and exchange ideas aimed at enhancing the operational efficiency of the Combat Support Arms. It is also an avenue where both serving and retired military officers, as well as resource persons and partners, deliberate on contemporary issues with a view to offering workable solutions. The Combat Support Arms Training Week 2024 event draws its focus from the decisions made in last year's election.
Shirley Daniels, Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. Yes, we'll go straight to the Defense Headquarters, where a new innovation is taking place. The synergy mantra is beginning to manifest as the spokespersons of all the security agencies and services and forces had a joint press conference at the Defense Headquarters. Sit back as we bring you this report by Elizabeth Tanko.
Nigerian security agencies have made their commitment to strengthen strategies aimed at intelligence sharing mechanism to counter security threats and enhance national security. The commitment was made on Thursday at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja at a joint press briefing by Security Defense and Response Agencies under the auspices of Strategic Communications Intra-Agency Advisory Policy Committee coordinated by the Office of National Security Advisor. The representative of the National Security Advisor and Special Advisor on Strategic Communication, Zachary Mijinyowa, spoke on the new Synergy Drive.
SCIPC has been established under the National Security Strategy 2019, and it has, among other responsibilities, the responsibilities to advise government on security communication, to strengthen strategic communication as a first-order capability in amplifying our national security objectives. While it had involved in a lot of policy work, developing content, but given the directives of Mr. President and the renewed and synergized effort by the service chiefs and leaders of security, defense, and intelligence agencies, the SCIPC would now be holding a monthly meeting and briefing.
Speaking on the activities of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, noted the key successes recorded in the last 1 year as a result of robust interagency collaboration.
Armed Forces of Nigeria is in a good and strong position in the war against terrorism and their cohorts. Indeed, many of the terrorist leaders have been killed, several of which I have named in the past. And we are making these terrorists pay a much heavier price than we are forced to pay in our ongoing counterterrorism and counterinsurgency operations across the country. During the month of May to June, which covers the period of this brief, May 2003 to June 2024, which covers the period of this brief, the potency of the terrorists was largely degraded, with 9,303 terrorists neutralized across all theaters. The armed forces also arrested 6,988 terrorist logisticians and informers across the various theaters of operation. And we rescued 4,641 kidnapped hostages during the period. The joint operational environment, coupled with the synergy among the security and intelligence agencies, greatly assisted in the optimal performance of troops in the conduct of these operations.
General Buba also stated that the Office of the National Security Advisor has been pivotal in coordinating national security strategies and ensuring synergy among various security agencies.
During the period, the Office of the National Security Advisor successfully hosted the high-level African counterterrorism meeting. The meeting brought together African heads of governments, including our Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who served as the host president. It also brought the United Nations Deputy Secretary General and leaders of other key global bodies.
The director also made a call on all individuals and corporate bodies to support the efforts of the security force.
It is for this reason we call on all citizens, the private sector, the NGOs, religious bodies, and other stakeholders to support efforts of the security forces.
At the end of the brief, some participants present spoke on sundry security issues.
If there is any information that any person should give about security and those who are behind the obnoxious acts in our various communities and the hinterlands, please, whether you are a journalist or any person for that matter, come forward and share your information with us.
Gentlemen of the press, it is not that we are applying cybercrime acts to witch hunt you, to harass you, to oppress you, or we don't want to support freedom of the press in Nigeria. No, it is not so. Let us rather talk to ourselves, and we are thinking to have a joint workshop so that we understand certain things. Where somebody is writing, if you want to write, I'm not saying you should not be a whistleblower, but if you want to be a whistleblower, you must get your fact right.
Elizabeth Anko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Yeah, history is actually important in knowing the past to plan for tomorrow. That is one of the reasons why the Nigerian Army War College, the Army War College of Nigeria, has made it an annual event to have a symposium on, on the past Nigerian Civil War. During the week, a seminar, this symposium was conducted for the year 2024, and Shirley Daniels was there again. She brings this report.
History is a tale of the past that helps to plan the future. Knowing how important this is, particularly the military history, the Nigerian Army War College has made the history of the Nigerian Civil War an annual series for its course participants. This Tuesday, the college hosted the 2024 series with the theme The Dynamics of Leadership and Decision-Making During the Nigerian Civil War, Lessons for Operational Level Commanders for Course 8 2024 participants. The chief host, who is the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, in his keynote address delivered by his representative, the Chief of Policy and Plans Army, Major General Abdusalami Ibrahim, spoke on the essence of the military history and the need to apply it in today's security challenges.
A Spanish-American philosopher, Jose Santayana, noted that, I quote, "Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to fail," unquote. Gleaning from these quotations, we must be deliberate and diligent in the study of history, particularly military history, to bring out and apply valuable lessons to the contemporary security challenges.
The Army Chief speaking further added that the contents of the college symposium and trainings are in line with his command philosophy and commended the Commandant Army War College.
Leadership is of the critical importance. That is why it is the first pillar of my command philosophy, which is to transform the Nigerian Army into a well-trained, equipped, highly motivated force towards achieving our constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment. Therefore, the theme of this symposium is in consonance with and in furtherance of the realization of my command philosophy.
General Lagbaja thanked the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his constant support to the Nigerian Army while pledging the Army's loyalty to constituted authority.
It is with deep sense of responsibility and utmost respect that I humbly wish to express our profound gratitude to Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his untiring, invaluable support to the Nigerian Army, without which the successes being recorded would not have been possible. On behalf of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I once again pledge our absolute loyalty to Mr. President and our ardent commitment to the defense of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
While welcoming dignitaries and participants, the Commandant Army War College, Major General Ishaya Mina, spoke on the topic chosen.
The Nigerian Civil War Symposium is included in the military history module in order to learn from the past. The symposium provides an avenue to academically dissect the strategic, operational, and tactical activities of the Nigerian Civil War for better comprehension of battlefield event outcomes in order to bring out useful lessons that could assist in addressing the contemporary security threats facing our dear nation today.
The guest speaker at the symposium, the acting Vice-Chancellor of Plateau State University, Professor Shedrack Best, in his presentation titled The Dynamics of Leadership and Decision-Making in the Nigerian Civil War, Lessons for Operational Level Commanders, said that leadership makes all the difference in war.
Alexander the Great, I believe that it is difficult for war strategists to forget this man. He says, "I'm not afraid of an army of lions led by a sheep. I am afraid of an army of sheep led by a lion." What this means simply is that leadership makes all the difference. The decision to go to war in 1967 emanated from the decisions of leaders. Leadership styles and orientations determine the conduct and ending of the war. The decision by Ojukwu to flee and the Biafran surrender were all leadership decisions. The decision of General Gowon to accept the Biafran surrender was also a leadership demonstration. Also, the post-war policies of RRR were leadership issues. The proclamation of no victor, no vanquished was leadership of a humble nature, because indeed, it's not true that that everyone was a victor, because there were winners and there were losers.
It is important to note that history doesn't stay behind us. Studying history helps us to understand how events in the past made things the way they are today. Shirley Daniels, Security Watch Africa.
Yeah, welcome back. Yes, for time, we'll quickly go to the next report, which is hearing from Nigerians what they feel about security in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. For some days now, there have been threat alert of threats of terrorist or banditry attacks. So sit back as we bring you this report by Lucy Tawo.
There have been security threat alerts of a possible bandit and terror attack in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Reacting to this threat alert, the FCT Police Command released a statement assuring the public of their safety. Concerned by this, Security Watch Africa crew visited some areas that had witnessed threats in the past to find out what the people think of such threats and if they are worried.
That one, we heard about that one. But 2 to 3 months back. But now there is not any threat now.
The security threat, everybody knows that Abuja is not much safe. It's not much safe about security. Because even if in my shop, you can see people of about 15, 20 sleeping outside the shop. Because I don't have where they will sleep, so I don't know how we start. Only God that is guiding us.
Actually, we have had such security threat here, and it has actually been a burden on each of us living around this vicinity. But to the glory of God, since the attack was launched and the people got panicked, and since then we'll have police intervention. And to be candid with you, since then till now, we've experienced peace around FCT. You cannot move around freely. I don't think we're having threat of bandits or any attack again since then.
Issuing a statement is something we are somehow used to now, because we know at the end of every event of such kind, a statement definitely will be issued and all of that. But we, the residents in this area, is telling on us the reason is not far-fetched. As you can see, this place we are now is an unbuilt environment. It's still coming up. Most especially, if you watch critically, you discover that the place is just occupied by some few persons and all that. And it hasn't been that easy. Reason being that most time we sleep with our eyes open and all of that. Just of recent, an attack happened here. And even when the police was called upon, you hear one excuse or the other, and at the end of it all, if they eventually show up, it must have been when the issue has been done already, the deed has been done. They'll come at a late hour, this and another. They always have one complaint or the other. If you ask me, they are not doing enough.
On if the citizens feel the presence of security agencies in their domain, they said.
Definitely, the police, they are doing their best, but the problem that we have now, you see, police cannot enter inside the community in the night. And those boys, they are attacking people's house in the night inside the community, whereby police, they are here in the road. They can never know what is going on inside the community until those boys did the rob and run away. So we cannot say the police are not doing good. They are trying their best. But inside the community, there is much of insecurity.
Yes, there's definitely a police presence in this area. If there's no police presence, there won't be, like as you can see, the business and everything is actually going smoothly presently. So if there is no security, nothing will actually be going on as it is now. So yeah, there's a police presence. We might not actually be seeing them physically, but then I feel they are working.
When the police says that we should be rest assured that things are going on well, I can only explain from what I see. Along the express road here, you see the policemen passing here and there, and we see more of them when it is daytime. But when it's night, you don't really see much. In fact, sometimes when I'm returning from the office, I could drive from a town, like I'm coming from Life Camp down to Buari. I don't spot a single police along this place when it comes to from that place down. Maybe let's assume no police was going to stay on the express, sure, but when you come to Dutse, you don't find anybody till you get to wherever you are going here. So as it is, they are active at noon, but when it comes to nights, the activeness has actually reduced.
Since security is everybody's business, we ask if they are aware of their security responsibilities.
Anytime we see strange move, strange attack or anything, that we should try as much as possible to talk to people that are more well-learned and more advanced.
Everybody should be on the lookout. If you see anything going on, if you see people that are of suspicious character, you call the attention of others so that we can come together and then see how we chase them away.
We are in a police public relation committee. Any information we gather, we do tell the people around. Any information, let us know. We report it to police.
Honestly, as residents here, we have been doing a lot on our own. When it comes to policing, we are the people that have been guiding ourselves. As it stands now, every month we pay 10,000 naira for our own security to watch. We don't depend on the police because we know we are having no result or no response from the police. As such, to us, they don't exist. We have our own personal vigilante, which we paid on our own to secure our environment. Otherwise, believe me, every family, every man here don't sleep at night. They come out to do vigilante on their own before we now employ the help of vigilante. And those are the people that are securing our environment, not the police per se.
It is important to note that no society is totally free from some form of security breaches, as both the government and the people must work together to ensure security of lives and property. Lucy Tawo reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Yeah, on that note, to call it a day for today because other programs must continue. Thanks for staying tuned so far. Until next week, we're going to bring you another edition. Bye for now and remain blessed.